I couldn't help but think about the fact that earlier we were talking about the now, infinitely vast number of choices of things to engage in, people to engage with, et cetera. But at the same time, as you were now talking about these micro inflections and the subtleties of voice and bodily communication, that whether or not it's emojis or people sending filtered images or the default to text message communication that is so prominent now, it seems like we now have more choices, so more input, but the sort of qualitative differences between the inputs have been binned into a couple of simple bins, it's as if we've regressed to primary colors only. But the canvas is huge, or I don't know if that analogy works, but you get the idea. Because ultimately, in order to develop good choices about profession, romantic relationships, friendships, you need a lot of examples and a lot of information that allows you to glean the subtlety. But as long as it's emojis and filtered pictures taken at a particular angle, usually from above, ask for the picture head on and below. Send me a picture of your worst expression. All of that. It seems that there's now increased opportunity for deception. And I don't just mean people misleading others. I also mean us misleading ourselves. Yeah. Oh my goodness, how could I be so disappointed yet again about a particular landscape of life? And it doesn't just have to be romantic interactions. It could be other landscapes. Like, how could I be fooled? Well, you're fooled because the inputs were deficient, not good data, as we say.
Well, the thing is, if things are you're immersed in the virtual realm, it's very, very hard to master the nonverbal communication aspect, which is so important. So if you're dating from an app and you're flipping through and then you find that person, you've missed out on the greatest experience of life, which is actually having to go out to a bar or go to a restaurant or go to a social event and have to literally encounter another person and deal with looking at their behavior and kind of assessing who they are. It's a muscle that you have to pay attention to nonverbal communication. And if you're just, going through the emojis or going through the Tinder apps, that muscle completely atrophies. You have no power. You're not able to decipher anything. And that's what's happening with a lot of people who are using these apps. The social skills are like any skill at all. You have to develop them. It's a muscle you have to develop. And you've all noticed this probably in your own life. If you've gone through a period where you're kind of retreating, you don't want to be around people, and you spend a month like that, and then you go out, you feel awkward. It takes you like a couple days to get used to being around other people. You say stupid things, your body language is all awkward. But if you're in a situation for months where you're constantly interacting with people, you're on a film set and day out, that skill starts developing. But you have to be out there in the world. You have to be interacting. You have to be looking at people's emotions. You have to be gauging them in real time. We're not built for virtual encounters. We're creatures of flesh and blood. And we need to be looking at each other in the eye and paying attention to all these little details, these nuances that you can only get in person.